presentation is divided in like 3 parts. The first part is going to be introduced by Julien. Is more this is us. The first is going to be introduced by Julien, which is like talking about the school, how like the French education system works, like in very general words, and then he's going to go into depth a little bit on the biomedical engineering track. Then we're gonna have a witness by one of our students, one of our current students, Sahar, who was super kind to like have to give us like this hour of her time to share with you her experience at Centrale, just like not only from an academic point of view, but also like from a social point of view, from the perspective of a young student. And then there's gonna be the last part, which is gonna be me speaking. It's more like the administrative part, so like how to apply, a little bit about the scholarships, and yeah, a little bit like administrative. Well, all that is administrative. So if you want to go, Julian.
Okay, thank you very much, Martina. So welcome to everyone. I wanted to start. I will start this this webinar by giving you a few words about the school, the Centrale Mediterranée School. This biomedical engineering track is co-led by myself and Pascal, who is also attending. Pascal joined us in the school last September, so he is also helping and on this biomedical engineering track. So we are co-leading this. I wanted to give you a few words about what we call in France an école centrale and what is a grande école in French. So the idea is in France, you have, of course, the university system for high-level studies, but also there is a particularity in France is that we have this what we call grandes écoles. It's main engineering school, very well, very famous and very well known in France and Europe and also worldwide. Among all these schools, there are 5 of them, which we call the écoles centrales. They are quite old. They've been living for the oldest one more than 200 years ago. The idea is to train engineers with a very broad-minded engineers. So these are not highly specialized schools, but they are grounded on a broad and high-level scientific and technological knowledge, with also a global vision. So we want to train engineers able to understand the challenges of many different domains. So both scientific, but also in economy, management, and etc. So the global idea is to recruit people with a strong background in maths, physics, chemistry, and train them in technological domains, but also giving them all this, what we call the soft skills for managing people and teams and companies. Okay, so it's also developed worldwide because we have 3 central schools, one in India, in Hyderabad, one in Beijing in China, and one in Morocco, in Casablanca. So among this, what is this? The principle of this Grandes Écoles d'Ingénieurs is to train students. After 2 years of bachelor, they enter these schools and they get a 3-year degree in engineering. Okay, so this is not what you apply for and what you will follow. But in our school, we are also a university, so we also have the ability to develop and to deliver diplomas, master diplomas. So we propose several master diplomas, among which this biomedical engineering track. In that case, you will enter the school in Master 1 and do a 2-year program with us. But we retain this introduction is important because we try to retain in this specialized master, we try to retain the philosophy of the Central School, meaning a quite demanding selective students selection. We are and also train you with a solid and broad scientific and technological skills, and also try to train you on all the soft skills, meaning team management, project management, change management, business, etc., etc., so that you can be an engineer in the biomedical domain after this 2-year master. Okay. We are accredited by several quality labels in France and Europe. And also we try, and we will go back to this later, but we also try to have you experience a lot of things in industry, companies, labs, platforms, and also a lot of internships. But we'll come back to that. So Centrale Mediterranée is one of these 5 central schools. We are located in Marseille. It's one of the most recent schools among these central schools. It's been created in 2003, but the former school was not named Centrale Mediterranée. It exists from 1981. We have approximately 1,500 students. So you see that we are a very small institution with a couple of more than 200 PhD students, quite broad range of alumni, which is very interesting for you and for students because this means a lot of opportunities for internships, jobs, etc., etc. We are a small institution again, so look like not more than 120 approximately permanent academic staff, big hundred of technical and administrative staff. Okay, so we are also visiting lecturers to come, and you have more than almost 400 different visiting lecturers in all the classes, which means a lot of people able to train you from their own experience in industry, research, etc. All the academic staff, they belong to 8 world-class research labs, which are close by. Plus, we also have 7 labs in close partnership in Marseille and Nice. And so at the end, we have more than 25 nationalities on the campus and approximately 20% of foreign students in the campus. We are located in the southern part of France on the Mediterranean shore, and the main campus is in Marseille. So this is located by the red arrow you see. We also have a small campus. Maybe if you see my arrow, we have a starting campus in Nice, which is close to the border to Italy, still on the Mediterranean shore. We nevertheless have a very strong international network with partners through Erasmus Masters, through UNESCO chairs, through a network which is animated by the school. It's called the Mediterranean Network of Engineering Schools. And if you see, we have all the dots corresponds to institution university with which we have a double diploma agreements. A word about the research at Centrale. So the particularity in France is that all the academic staff you have will belong to a lab. So they are both teachers and researchers at the same time. So in a lab, take for example my lab, which is a lab of optics and physics. In my lab, I will have colleagues from Centrale Mediterranée, colleagues from the other Aix-Marseille University, and colleagues from the CNRS, the French National Research Centers. They are full-time researchers, while myself, I am part-time researcher and teacher. Okay. We have 6 main research institutes associated to the school, more than 6, sorry, 8, 3 in mechanics, fluid mechanics, structural mechanics, etc., acoustics. We have 1 in molecular chemistry, 1 lab which is in physics, more particularly optics, photonics, and image processing, data science, 1 lab in economy, 1 lab in math, and 1 in computer science, systems, and artificial intelligence. We have also, I told you, Associate Research Institute in neuroscience, movement science. Those are really important for you for the biomedical track, and another 1 in computer science. A few words also, since we have a very big cohort of alumni, we have a lot of corporate relations with a lot of small and big groups in France and worldwide. You will recognize Airbus, Alstom, or ArcelorMittal, which are very big companies. CEA, it's the French National Agency for Atomic Energy. We have a lot of partnership with them. Bouygues, some banks, we have a lot of connections with all these topics. So this again is very important for you as students to find internships, jobs, etc. Now I will switch to more particularly to what is of interest for you, meaning
Can I interrupt you for a second, Julian?
Yep.
So we got one question, which is like one of usually the most asked questions. So like I prefer to answer before we get like 5 or 6. And they ask, can a bachelor in biotechnology students can apply to study master's degree in biomedical engineering? So like application criteria, like
Yeah.
admission criteria.
I also, to answer quickly this question, I encourage all of you, all of the potential applicants to apply because it's free and it's quite easy. So don't hesitate to send your files and all your documents to the application site, and your application will be reviewed first by us, Pascal and me, and we will give you quickly an answer about is it possible that your application is taken into consideration. If yes, we will organize a short interview. We have an online interview through Zoom with all the applicants, and then you will be notified if you are accepted or not. So I encourage you, yes, to apply. Probably a bachelor in technology, in biotechnologies can be considered.
Thank you.
So now let's switch to this master in complex system engineering. So this is the title of this master. It's complex system engineering, but in this master we have several tracks, one in environment engineering and one in biomedical. But the global concept of this master is to train the students about what we call complex systems. So how can we define a complex system? It's some situations where you have many elements which will be interacting, and it's very difficult to model the global behavior of all the population, even though the individual behavior is easy to model. All the network of interactions makes the predictability and the modeling of the system very difficult. So globally, these complex systems problems, they cannot be solved without in-depth engineering knowledge. And quite often, this requires multidisciplinary approaches because you will have interaction from biology to sociology if you deal with human behavior, for example. So you need in-depth engineering knowledge. You need to be wide-minded to be able to understand all the aspects of the problem. Often there is no evident and obvious solution, so sometimes you have multiple solutions, and among them you need to choose, and the decision will, of course, sometimes involve conflicting issues, either technological, either ethical, either question of money sometimes. So you have no single and sometimes no obvious solution. So in this framework of complex systems, of course, you will find the environment. So that's why we have a track in environment, and of course, life and living systems, they are by definition complex systems. And this is the purpose of this master, is to to train you on this domain. So the philosophy is this wide scope, open mining program in a specific domain. It can be biomedical engineering. It's designed for undergraduate students with, of course, a strong background in science and engineering, since it's still a Master of Science. It's a master's program accredited by the French Higher Education Ministry and also the European Union. And also, it's composed of two parts: the French National Master's Degree, which globally consists of 600 hours of teaching over the 2 years. But on top of that, you have additional training on all which regards the engineering skills, meaning project management, team management, internships, projects, hands-on experience in industry, etc., etc., and also language training. So you get, after the 2 years, you get two diplomas, by the way. You get the French National Master's Degree plus a diploma from École Centrale, which is quite well known, of course, for the engineering skills, which allows you to access PhDs. We have many students who are now in PhDs, and also some of them are hired as engineers. So as I told you, we have three tracks, two in Marseille, sorry, one in environment engineering, which allows the students to go to a second year in smart cities in Nice, but that's not the purpose of today. Today we are dealing with this biomedical engineering track, which is composed, of course, of 2 years. It's a 2-year full-time master's degree. It's taught 100% in English. If you combine the 2 years of the master and the 2 diplomas. It's an extremely interesting and dense training because you get more than 1,000 hours of courses over these 2 years, plus a long experience in internships from 8 to 10 months during these 2 years. So you will not be bored, I promise. You will be well trained. If you look, we have approximately 50% of the training which regards scientific courses, small 25% regarding the soft skills, the engineering skills, also a lot of time in projects and some language teaching, plus the internships. I just wanted to spend 1 minute on the schedule. If you see, it's interesting for you to see yourself in this master. When you start in September, you have a first 3-month period of courses. We call it this propedeutic courses, meaning it will be basic courses in some very important topics, so that all the students are approximately at the same level to continue. Then you enter a small, approximately 2 months internship period in a research lab. So we ask you to go in a first research experience as soon as you start in France. 3 months after settling in France, you will be in a lab for a couple of months, sorry, in which you have a first experience as an intern, and then you go back to the school for 4 months of a specialized semester in bioengineering. And then you have the summer period of 3 months, during which you will do another internship between 2 to 3 months. Can be in a lab, can be in a company, can be in another city, can be abroad also. Then you enter the second year in September for a long period of training in the school until mid-February, end of February. And then you will have the long final internship in a lab or in a company, depending on if you want to pursue a PhD or as an engineer, and then you get graduated in September. So after these 2 years, you get these 2 diplomas, as I explained. To go quickly, I encourage you to go and see and check the curriculum, but to go quickly, so this first semester, as I told you, is dedicated to propedeutics courses. So you have courses in transport phenomena, meaning heat propagation, a little bit of thermodynamics, etc., a little bit of mechanics. You have a common course with in computer science, numerical methods, also engineering and soft skills, language, etc., in the lab internship. And you have specialized courses for the biomedical track, one in material science and mechanics, one in signal and image processing, and one in, let's say, basic biology, one also in physics, which is the wave propagation course, and one which is very interesting, it's the introduction to clinical medicine, on which you will encounter 4 to 5 different practitioners, surgeons, engineers, ophthalmologists, and you go to the lab, to the facilities, and so this is a really immersive. So that's for the very first part of the master. Then you go to the lab internship, and then you start in the second semester. You will join this, what we call the S8 in the school. It's a program which is also open to French students in the engineering school. So you will now join another team of students on which you have 4 to 5, and now it's 5, sorry, the slide is not up to date, but you have 5 different topics. One is, let's say, biology, starting from molecular biology to anatomy and tissue and biomechanics, tissue modeling and biomechanics. One is in imaging and wave therapy. So you do optics, acoustics, MRI, etc. One is in bioinformatics and data processing and image processing. And the last one is, we call it Bioplanet. It's very interesting because it's partly a project and partly a lot of visits, seminars, conferences with people from Marseille or farther. But we have a lot of partners which take time to give you information, to visit, to accompany you in the labs and show show what they do. So this is really fascinating. And then you start in the Master 2. In the Master 2, you have again some common courses in computer science, data sciences, a little bit of AI. You have some language, some again soft skills, engineering skills. A big project, which is extremely interesting. This year, if you see, this colleague, Gerardo, is showing the result of their project. They ended up by building an app able to measure the gait parameters of people walking, and they ended up with almost of course it's not broadcasted, but they almost have a almost professional app on the smartphone from their work. This is very interesting. Now the specialized courses will be one elective either in advanced optical imaging or in biomedical, in bioimage processing. One course in biomechanics, advanced biomechanics, one course in modeling for biology and biomedical domain. One course is advanced mechanics, advanced material science and design. One course in sensors and telemedicine, and also a very nice and quite big course in neurotechnologies with a lot of partners again in Marseille, and also some introduction to bioethics. At the end of this, you start your big master thesis, which means 4 to 6 months of internship before you are graduated. Just an information, in France, when you are doing your master in France, if the internship is in France, and if it's longer than 2 months, it's necessarily that you are paid by the lab or by the company. So this can be interesting in terms of fundings for the second year, because the second part of the second year is mandatorily paid. Okay, I wanted to add something about the master. We do not deliver scientific and technological skills only. It's not a collection of knowledge as it's written here, but we also provide you with skills and competencies. So you are also evaluated throughout the master through your competencies, and we mainly separate those competencies in 4 blocks. One is, of course, the scientific and technological innovation by R&D, research and development, because we want to train R&D engineers or future researchers or PhDs. The second competence block is very important. It's complexity, handling complexity. When you're in a complex systems master, it's mandatory. And of course, as I told you, life is a complex system. The third competency block is related to the specialized tools, all the softwares, the technological approaches you will see in your instrumentation, algorithms, etc. All you will learn. Of course, you have to master this to be an engineer. And finally, the fourth one is very important. It's also all the project and team management, but not only. It also encompasses all your behavior, meaning. So we do not want you to train you as a student. We want to train you as a future professional. So we want to have you at the end know how to behave in a company, how to behave in a lab, how to have a big sense of responsibility, commitment, etc. So this is also assessed through the master. So the very strongest asset of our master is this connection to the real world in Marseille and in the region of Marseille, which is extremely rich in terms of platforms, labs, companies around the biomedical, biotechnology, and medtech domain. So this is an example of two former students, one visiting a surgery room, the other one was experiencing bioprinting. You see, it's a small ear bioprinted in a gel. We have some visits of extremely intense MRIs, and we are doing some practical imaging even with MRIs. So you have industry presentation by professional engineers, by researchers. You have access to some R&D tools. You have some practicals. You have clinical visits, partnerships. This year, the students, they went again to visit a surgery in thyroid surgery. So they went to the surgical room and they were able to see a thyroid surgery. They also saw a prosthesis replacement in another hospital. That's very important to for you to be trained in the domain and also to get contacts for internships or jobs or PhDs. So this is a small map. It was funny to draw the map of Marseille for you. So this is Marseille. You see the seashore. This is downtown. We are a little bit on the east. So this is Centrale Mediterranée. It's located here. And all the yellow dots you see means a partner in Marseille, which we will probably visit during the master. So you see we have a big hospital here, another hospital there. This is the 𝗳𝗏𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗶 University. This is the French blood, etc. We also have a university here with a lot of labs, another hospital here. So, you know, this is all the logos of the partners we have, plus some of them which are not on the map. Now, to give you a few words about this year promotions, we have on the master, on the total master, we have 48 students, approximately half women, half men, 25 years old as an average age. Some of them come from double diploma agreements with Morocco, with China and Lebanon, sorry. In the biomedical domain, they have a backgrounds in, most of them in biomedical engineering bachelors, some of them in medical device engineering bachelors, computer science and communications bachelors sometimes. And the very interesting point of our master that we combined 24 different nationalities. So this is, you have the list of this year nationalities, and it's extremely nice to share among all these peoples and all these cultures. So this was a picture of this year inception weekend, welcome weekend we had with all the students. Okay, this is a couple of examples of internships. So quickly, you can do internships in some spectral imaging techniques for biomed sensing in an optics lab. And so with me, you have a digital twin for acoustic imaging at 𝗲𝗏𝗵𝗴𝗏. You have some mechanics studies for prosthesis. This was another study about ultrasound stimulation for living cells, sorry, etc. In companies also, some in AI, in again automated speech recognition, etc. If we focus on the last promotion, some of them, a huge part of them, they followed in a PhD, and you see that even if they got their diploma in October, they are 75% of them already found a job in France or a PhD. Some of them are working in the quality domain, but some of them are also the consultants, and a lot of them are in PhDs, by the way. So that was an overview of the master. Maybe I will give the microphone to Sahar, who is actually in second year, and she came from Lebanon, from the UZEC University. Thank you, Sahar, for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you for having me here. I'm very happy to see that so many students are motivated to join the program. So just to quickly present myself. So my name is Sahar, and I come from Lebanon. I graduated from high school basically in 2020, back when it was COVID. So, and I attended the French curriculum back in Lebanon. So maybe coming to France was part of my plan when I was 18, but it did not happen, unfortunately, because of COVID and the lockdown. So I stayed in Lebanon, and I attended a university in Lebanon called UZEC, and I did the program of 5 years in biomedical engineering over there. Throughout this program, I got the opportunity to travel abroad for an internship in Qatar. But I mentioned this because it was maybe a unique experience that I lived, but also it was very different from what I lived when I came to France. And back then in my internship, I worked in a facility management company that manages basically healthcare facilities with all the mechanical and electrical systems over there. So I got to work a bit with the hardware. side of biomedical engineering. And at university, I was mostly interested in software, AI applications, and health tech, etc. And in 2024, I learned that my university offered a double degree program with Centrale. And I was like, okay, maybe that was a good idea for me because I got to experience the mechanical and basically the hardware and the software aspect of biomedical engineering. But then I was like, maybe there is more. And I decided to join the program as a double degree. So my first year of master's was in parallel with my with my last year, sorry, of studies in Lebanon. And so I graduated officially from Lebanon in 2025, and here I am now in the master's too, so in my second year at Centrale, and I'm currently in my final year internship, and I'm working at a startup in Paris as an AI engineer. So basically what we do is we provide medical transcriptions to medical doctors for their consultations with the patients. So that's a bit about my journey. Now, to move a bit to why I chose Centrale Mediterranée along the different choices that I had, basically the first thing that we do as when you're looking for programs online is to look at the curriculum of the university. It's one of the things that you do. So when I looked up Centrale's curriculum, I was really, really amazed to see that there were so many interesting courses that I did not know and that I did not get the chance to explore in my bachelor. And which is really amazing for a biomedical engineer because you can do so many things. So this was one of my top choices that made me really come to Centrale. It's basically also its multidisciplinarity. So as it was mentioned before, we don't only take engineering classes, but we also get to take some marketing classes, some project management, some maybe ethics also classes that really make you understand how the whole ecosystem of a company works. And we don't only take these classes with people from scientific backgrounds, but we also take them with lawyers, with marketeers, with management specialists, with communication specialists. So you also get to understand and to interact with different people, which is very important for you later on in your life. Want to understand how the work life works because you're not only be dealing with engineers or with scientific people, and really to see things from different perspectives. So this was really, really helpful. And it was very interesting to see. Another thing that is really, really nice, it might not be the case when you first hear it, but trust me, it is. It's basically the fast pace of the courses that we have. The classes in Centrale are not maybe like the traditional classes that you take. So the class is not really does not continue on the span of the whole semester. So you don't take the same class for 3 months, but they are divided in learning blocks. So you might take a class for only 1 month and then finish it and move on to a different class. So just like conferences. And this is really nice because you get used to a fast-paced, and which is the case in your work life. So you need to adapt quickly to learn so many information, and you actually get really, really surprised by the amount of information that you can grasp in a short amount of time. And it's really challenging, but you will actually enjoy it, and you will be really proud of what you were able to learn after the classes. So also this is one thing that is really interesting for me. One other thing that was already also mentioned is that we don't only take theoretical classes, but you also get to experience hands-on in the labs. So we get to visit so many labs across Marseille and outside of Marseille. So for example, you can see that like in one of the pictures, we're all wearing like scrubs because we entered the clean room in a lab. And we also got to see like a medical 3D printing. We got to visit so many things. As also it was mentioned before, we got to watch live surgeries. So you get to discover many things, many fields, which help you actually learn about what you want to do later on and what you love. And that was really, really a very nice experience for students to really know and get to know the biomedical engineering field. And within the coursework and the labs, you get also to work on a lot of projects. So I came to Centrale. I basically only maybe knew how to work in Python, how to work in MATLAB. But throughout the curriculum, I got to work on COMSOL. Like I got to also experience how to make simulations on Abacus. Throughout the project, for instance, we also like designed a virtual reality experience. So we worked with a software called Unity. We got to do so many things. I only put few images here, but you learn a lot. And also, as it was mentioned before, for instance, we got to work to build our own app, which is called 𝗬𝗂𝗶𝗏. I put also the logo because it was a very proud moment for us. So, as it was mentioned, we built, for instance, an app to analyze the gait metrics of a person who is walking, who is running, to detect, for instance, if they have any disabilities or any the similarities in the walking, for etc. So you get to do so many things. And this is also very important to know that within a scope of 2 years, you will get a chance to do like 3 internships, which is really, really nice because you get to experience what you want to do and what you like. And this is where you actually learn things and learn what field you like in biomedical engineering because it's a very broad field. So having the chance to do 3 internships is actually really rare and really, really nice to have. Now, I talked a lot about the scientific and education part of coming to Centrale Marseille, but one main other really, really important part is actually the associative life and the social life that you build at the school. We have a very active associative life at Centrale Mediterranée. So if you like, for instance, you like sports, you like music, you like arts, you can get to join different associations and meet people who actually like to do the things that you also like. So for instance, I was part of the International Students Association, and we took care, for example, of the international students who arrived to Marseille, and like we organized trips and activities with them. So, for example, this association also helps you to meet new people coming from different cultures, etc. And the fact that, for example, we get to build so many intercultural experiences because, for example, we have, as it was mentioned, there is a school campus in Nice, sorry. So we got to go on a weekend with them in the mountains, and we spent a whole weekend getaway camping and getting to know each other, making food, like international food together, and doing so many nice activities. So it was really nice for us also to attend and to meet new people. And also the fact that the master's program gathers so many nationalities, but you not only get to meet like people from all around the world who are in your class, but you also get to do a semester with the French students who are at the engineering school of Centrale. So you also get to, meet with other people. So you get the whole package in this master's because you have both. And yes, we can move to the next slide. To end my intervention, I like to put 3 images that I took in Marseille. And these are basically, for me, 3 emblematic places that you need to visit, hopefully, when you come. Like you have the old port with the Notre Dame. You have in the middle the Cours Julien, which is a very lively neighborhood. You have also the Calanques, which are basically where you can go and explore the nature and the sea in Marseille. And one very good thing about Marseille is, yes, that you might hear that, oh, it's a very dangerous city, but actually in reality, as you can see in my pictures, it is a very, very nice city. Very lively, very active, very student friendly. You can do so many things. You can visit so many museums. Like after spending 2 years here, I would choose Marseille as my study abroad city all over again because it gave me so many things and I got to learn and to grow myself a lot when I came here. And I just want to mention that I put my contact information in case you have any questions about the program, or about the applications, or about anything. I would be more than happy to answer you because I understand that the stress of applying online is a bit tricky. And you can feel free to ask me anything. Trust me, like no question is silly. Like coming from a student, I know the struggle, so please feel free. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sahar. I feel like I will apply.
That's
Okay.
great then.
So now, Martina, it's your
My turn. So thank you,
perfect.
Sahar. Thank you so much for like giving your like witness. It was super nice. Thank you. So now is the boring part, which is the administrative part, but like it's necessary. Like in this part, we will focus more like the application process and then like the first steps to do if you get accepted into the program. So first of all, with the criteria to like be accepted into the program, this also like answers again the question of one of the students asking if their background was like suitable for the master. Okay, this depends on like, of course, the background must be scientific, like scientific, of course, but there are so many things, so many other like components that are taken into account that it's impossible to answer a question like that. So like it's gonna be like as Julian before said, which if you have any question, if you don't know if your like background allows you to like apply or not, just go for it. It's going to be like the admission committee who's going to like evaluate your CV, your notes, your diploma, and then it will be up to them to decide. And again, it's a process which is free of charges, so like it doesn't cost anything, so better trying. And so like these master course, as already also Julien and Sahar said, it's like a very like diverse master course. Like we have students from all over the world. We get applications from students all over the world, and it's very like amazing because like I think it's something that enriches also like not just like the academical professional part, but also like the human part, which is very important for in life in general. So I'm done with this nice philosophical part. So like, just can you go back again, please, Julian? So of course, so you can apply both in M1 or you have the possibility to apply directly in M2. This is only possible if you have validated 60 credits, like 60 ECTS of a master already. So like if you have a bachelor degree, you cannot apply directly to M2. But if you did like a year of a master, you can do that. So in any case, like you will see that when you apply through the website, you will need to upload the M1 transcript. So like this is necessary to apply in M2. So you can okay. So application for those of you who already like emailed me, you're familiar with the name. So 𝗕𝗏𝗊𝗲 is like the application, is the portal that we use to like receive the applications. So basic steps you need to do is like you need to connect, of course. You're gonna receive like a code which is going to be your username, and it's personal, it's for like each person. Once you log in, you have to fill the information is like you filling like your CV in the website, and then you can apply. You can apply to the master. So you can apply either like to M1 or M2. You can try to apply to both if you have the doubt, if you're doubting whether your CV, your like, experience like could be suitable for M2. Like if you apply for M2 and like the teachers believe like that you are not suitable for M2, but like rather for M1, we're just gonna redirect you. You're not gonna lose we're not gonna reject the application. So also you're going to see that in 𝗕𝗏𝗊𝗲 there is a section where you can download an information, or yeah, some like an informative like dépliant, where you will find all step by step how to apply, what you need to do. So this is very well done, and I strongly invite you to like use it when you apply. And if you have other questions that for example, the guide cannot answer, or like you're really lost, of course, you can email me at the email address that is like over there, which many of you already know. And the application deadline is June 1st. So you still have 2 months to go. Okay, yeah. So the deadlines, the most important dates. So as I said, the application deadline is June 1st. After that, we won't accept any other application. So before that, how is the application going to work? So you're gonna apply through 𝗕𝗓𝗓. We're gonna give you a response whether like like the application is completed, whether you like whether you have uploaded everything we need, and then if then like your dossier is gonna get like studied by by the admission committee, which is Julian and Pascal, in this case, and they're gonna see if your profile is suitable or not for the master. If it is, you're gonna be called for an interview. It's like a 50 minutes interview, about like where they're gonna ask you about the reasons. They're gonna ask you they will check your motivation mainly, and then after that you will get your final response. Also, it's very important. I'm gonna say it afterwards, but like for non-European students, you need to do two parallel application. One is with 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓, which is for the school, like this is application to get into the master, and the other one is with another portal, which is called Études en France, which I think maybe you know, or if you don't know, like I'm gonna explain better later. It is a portal where like you apply, like it's basically to facilitate the visa process. So to get your visa. So also in June 2026, there's gonna be an admission jury, where the admission committee is going to decide about the scholarship application attribution. So you're gonna have the response about the answers about the scholarship after mid-June, so not before. And June, July is the moment where we start to have we start with like the enrollment process. So I will ask you, for those who are admitted to the program, to register into like some different portals. One is called Mon Dossier, and to pay your fees, or at least the first installment of the tuition fees, because you can pay in installment. So let's say that to specify, the application is the enrollment is official just when you pay at least the first installment of your tuition fee, not before, not without that. And so in August 2026, like the year starts. So like you are expected to be in Marseille for the next academic year, so 2026, 2027, you're expected to be in Marseille by August 24, because there's going to be the International Week, where you will have the possibility to, I'm gonna say more, where you're gonna have the possibility to get acquainted with the city and with the other international students, which is very important. And then in September, the first week of September, you start with the courses. So like the race begins,
Yeah,
basically.
this year, to give an additional information, this year the kickoff will be on the August 31st, the last day of August.
Yeah,
And
it's on a Monday.
and the week before will be the welcoming week, end of August, the last week of August.
Yeah. Okay, you can skip. So let's have a focus on Campus France, Études en France. So like there are many countries. So many countries, they have this organization, which is called Campus France, which like is made specifically for international students coming to study to France. So, and it helps, like it's not speeds up, but like it helps in the visa process. Like if you have the documents by Campus France approved your application, which is like approved your situation, you can go, like they say you can go to France. This is the thing that's really going to unblock your visa. So this is it's very important that you apply, because otherwise maybe it could be hard to get one. So as I said, Campus France is a governmental organization which is responsible for promoting French higher education in the world. As I said, not all countries have Campus France organizations. Like you should check on the Campus France website if your country is one of those who need a pre-visa request with Campus France or no. And also to get useful information about studying and living in France. So like if you can get other scholarship other than the ones that the school offers, or accommodations and whatever. So as I said, if you are a non-European student which lives in one of those countries, you must, once you get admitted, you also before, if you want to like anticipate, but you must apply via Études en France. And this is like all online, and yeah, it's all online. So you can skip if you want. So talking about the fees, don't get like scared by the numbers. Like, let me explain it a bit. So like the fees are this high because like the central fees are divided in two parts. There's a part which is established by the Ministry of Education, of French Ministry of Education. So that part goes directly to them, and another part which is established by the school. So that's why it's divided in two. There is a difference between the fees for European students and for non-European students. And if you come from one of the universities which are partners with Centrale Mediterranée, you can get 50% of discount on your fees, no matter which one of the two, like even if you're a European student or a non-European student. So you can move. Okay, so scholarship. This year, for next year, we are providing 3 different scholarships, which are all like excellence scholarships, actually. So one disclaimer, the scholarship, like to get the scholarship, you will need to pay, you are expected to pay your tuition fees. So it's not that like with the scholarship you're going to be exonerated from paying your tuition fees. You will still have to pay them, even though they are reduced, because like as you see here, you're going to receive preferred tuition fees. So you're going to be excused. You're going to be like you're not going to pay the part which is like the part of the tuition fees which is like established by the French Ministry of Education, but you will need to pay the other part, the part established by the school. So it's very important that you have the funds at least to pay your tuition fees, you know. Then all the 3 scholarships are like 10,000 euros per year, per student, of course. Which like the idea behind these scholarships is to make your stay in France as smooth as possible. So like you don't like to focus on the studies. You will need to focus on the studies and not like to avoid you to worry about financial issues, housing, and whatever. So like just to allow you to focus on your studies. And also another benefit that you will have if you get one of the 3 scholarship is that you're gonna have a priority accommodation, let's say. You're gonna be in one of the students' accommodations, which is like the public school accommodation, which is 𝘁. Like if you get the scholarship, you're gonna have a room in we can reserve a room for you. So instead of like doing the whole process alone. And again, the scholarship award committee, so like the decision on who gets the scholarship or not, it's like mid/end June. So like I won't have the answers before. And also like apart from these 3 scholarships, which are the ones that are offered by the schools, you can ask for other scholarships, but like I invite you in that case to just approach you to the Campus France of your country, of your region, and ask them if they offer some scholarships like this. Okay. Okay, so accommodation. So as it's like well written, like big in the presentation, like you should start. I advise that like if you're planning on coming, if you're pretty sure about coming, and if you got admitted to the program, I advise that you start looking for a house, because like Marseille is a big city, and of course like the housing, like there is availability. It's not impossible, but like it requires a little bit of patience. So I advise that you start looking as soon as you decided that you want to come to Marseille. And so like a little bit about like the rent, like usually like privately, the rent is about like for a room, like in a shared house, shared flat, it's usually 500/600 per month. And you can either about concerning accommodation, you can either apply you can either like apply independently to like for like a shared house in Marseille. Then like I will provide you like in June with all the websites you can use to find rooms. Otherwise, you can apply to 𝗬𝗏, which is like it's like these are private accommodations which are like only for students. And as a Centrale student, you will have like exclusive offers, and you will have like personalized supports and multilingual team. Sorry. Okay, no. You will have a secure payment, and like everything will be online, so it's going to be very easy. And also like the rental file, the rental dossier you will have to fill. It's like simplified. It's more simplified than doing than renting privately through an agency or through a private. Or you can also like apply also for a cruise room, which is the public student residence that I was talking to you, I was telling you like 2 minutes ago. But in that case, the application must be independent. Like we don't reserve cruise rooms for like students who are not like who didn't get the scholarship. In that case, you will have to be like independent from a student. The application is independent from this for the student. And I advise that also in that case, you do it as soon as possible because there's a lot of requests. Then, so life in Marseille. So around like the cost of living is around 700-800 euros per month, including like rent, groceries, entertainment, social life. And looks a little bit expensive, but also like you have to take into account that in the second year of your master, you're going to have like the internship that Julian and Sada were telling you about before. And of course, like like in France, it's mandatory by law that like after 2 months of internship, the the trainee is paid. So the wages are kind of okay. So like it will allow you to pay rent, to be like to like not to worry too much about financial issues. And also after graduation, international students can ask, like visa-wise, with the visa, like with the student visa, they can ask to stay 1 year in France or in Europe, because like the visa like extends to Europe as well, to find a job. And also like if you're experiencing financial issues, or if you want to like have a side, or if you want to have like find a job, there are like we offer many students job that are like compatible usually with the course hours. And yeah, they will allow you to like to enjoy these 2 years in a different way. Then okay, so the 24th of August is the date when we expect admitted students to come to arrive to be in Marseille, because it's the start of the welcome week for international students, which is extremely important, because you will have a week of whole like intensive French language courses, which is very important for the everyday life. You can visit Marseille, which allows you to get acquainted with the city, and it's always nice because you're going to be with an international student group. And like it's nice to have like to find like a community at the beginning, like somebody who is in the same situation as you. Is like it's more I guess it's more it allows you to like to get into this new chapter like more smoothly, like better. And of course, there are gonna be welcome parties organized by Centrale Mediterranée students. And also, like you can do like during the week, you can do shopping to settle down. You're gonna be followed by international students that are already in Centrale Mediterranée, so like they know what's what's the deal. And then so the very much talked about integration weekend, the very much talked about. So this year, like every year, one of the last weekends of September, like we organize an integration weekend with the students of Nice, coming from Nice, from an institute which is called IMRED. And it's a very nice occasion to get to know so many different people, and also like students who you don't see on a daily basis, because the students from Nice, like that come from Nice, you won't see them on a daily basis, but it's like it's very nice to like spend 1/2 days with them. And you will get to know each other, just not only you students, but also us, like the teachers and the administrative like workers. We will get to know each other better, because we're gonna do like many ateliers, we're gonna workshops. We're going to do like we this year especially we went like for a weekend in the mountains close to Nice, and it was amazing because we did many workshops about like many games. Also we did like a treasure hunt, but like engineering like themed, which was very nice. We had like a cooking workshop, which was super funny. I enjoyed it so much. And then we managed to like we saw the stars with like professional instruments, because there were people like astrologists, yeah, astronomies, yeah.
Voilà.
Yeah. Voilà.